Okay, let's start then. Tonight I'll be discussing top 40 questions that was asked in NSSB. Okay, and we have a dedicated video of PYQ, so there will be only list questions that I haven't discussed. But tonight this top 40 question is taken out from NSSB 2022. Okay, so for NPSC point of view also, this is important. So that's the reason why I'm discussing not just the question. There may not be exact question, but I believe this type of conceptual question can be asked. So that's the reason why I'm discussing this. But before we start our class, we have another page coming up, page 2, online CSAT course, which will be starting on 15th of this month. So if you are interested to join, please join us. It's a 15 days CSAT course. So in this course, we'll be discussing only the topics that are asked in NDSC only. So nothing here and there, just that only. And one good thing is that even though you can't attend the class, recorded class will be provided so that you can go for revision and you can rewatch again. So that's a good thing about this course. And we'll be focusing more on data sufficiency, data interpretation, and statement-based kind of puzzle question. So I'll be providing this PDF. You can register by clicking here. Click here to apply. So let's start with question number 1. Like I've told you, most of the questions are from NSSB 2022, okay? So let's start with this. The question here is, if A is 50% larger than C and B is 25% larger than C, then A is what percent larger than B? So in this type of question, when you have A is comparing with excuse me once there. A is comparing with C and P is also comparing with C. So when there is a comparison type of question, always assume the term that is comparing. We have a common term which is C here, we have C here. So what I'll do is I have A, I have B, and I have C. So I'll assume this C as 100. So if C is 100, the question says like this. A is 50% larger than C. So if C is 100, it will be, A will be 150 because it is 50% larger. And B is 25% larger than C. So B is how much? B will be 25%. So can I write 125 here? So I can write it this way. If C is 100, then A is 50% larger than larger than C, and B is 25% larger than C. So what is asked here? Then A is what percent larger than B? A is what percent larger than B? So let's do like this. You have A here, which is this one, and you have B here, this one. So whenever you ask to find how much bigger kind of question, so you find the difference. A is bigger than B by how much? A is 150 and B is how much? 125. So if you subtract this one, we are getting 25 here. We see that A is 25 in terms of value. Okay, A is 25 more than B, and we have learned from percentage that whenever you are comparing two quantities, A is how much? 25 more than how much? We are comparing this term, we are comparing A with B. So this B should be in your denominator, okay? So A is 25 more than B, and we need to get our answer in terms of percentage. So that's the reason why I'm multiplying by 100. You may ask me, why am I multiplying by 100? Because I want to get my answer in terms of percentage. That's the reason why I'm multiplying by 100. So if we simplify this, 25 1s are 25, 25 5s are 5, 2s are, so which means the answer here is 20%, which is option number D there. I hope we are clear with this. Option number D is the answer there. Now, let's go to next. Question number 2 is, it's an operation type of question. So earlier in NPSC, we used to see this type of question a lot. But these days, I think for a few years, we haven't seen any question based on this one. So this means if you have A star B, that means A star Y. Why am I saying A? X star Y. That means if you have a first number and star the other number, then this will be the formula. So operation type of question is something like it's a question where formula is given. Okay. So the formula for this one is given as this one. So what's the number given here? We are given 6 star 24. So what we see is the first one is X and the second one is Y. So what was the formula here? The formula for X star Y is X plus Y plus root over XY. Remember, this is not a standard formula. You don't need to memorize this one. One thing you need to do is that you just look at the question. If there's a star, then we need to follow this one, this pattern there. So because of this one, let us write the term down. First number here, which is X here, X is how much? 6 plus second number, Y value is how much? Y is 24 plus root over 6 into 24. So the value of 6 is how much? X, and the value of, the value of Y is how much? 24. Here, the value of X is 6. So that's the reason why X plus Y root over X into Y. So if we solve this, I'm getting 6 plus this one is 30 plus, if we simplify this, 6 into 2 into 2. I'm just finding the factor of this one, finding LCM, okay? 24, if you find the factor, if I take by 6, 6 4s are 24 and 2 2s are. So 24 can be written as 6 into 2 into 2, okay? So I can write this way. So 30 plus, if a number is repeating 2 times, we can take 1 out. If a number is repeating 2 times, I can take another 1 out. So 30 plus 6 for the 24. So if I sum this to 6 for the 24. Okay, now if I plus this 2, it will be how much? 4 and 5, 50. Am I getting 54? 24 plus 6 is 30 and 6 for the 24 and 2, 6. Oh, this should be 2. So sorry, you make a correction here. 6 into 2, 6 to the 12. So which means 42 is our answer, which is option number A here. So that's the answer. I hope you are following me with this. And these are only easy questions. Let's go to the next. It's an approximation type of question. For some who are appearing any central kind of exam, then it will be very easy for you. But for some who are from arts background and who haven't appeared any kind of central exams, then you'll be a bit confused. Whenever you see this type of question, one thing to keep in mind is that you just use the approximate value of this thing. So what I'll do is, in place of 15.01, I'll just use 15 there, because we are just asked to find the approximate value. So that's the reason why I'm using 15 there. Plus root over, in place of 81 point, in place of this one, 81.009, I'll just write root over 81 only. And into 32. Let's find this value. 15 square is how much? 225 plus root over 81. 81, can I write this one? 9 into 9, or can I just directly write root over 81 is 9? Why? Because root over 81 is nothing but root over 9 into 9. If a number is repeating 2 times, I can take 1 out. So the value of this one is 9 into 3, 2. So if I simplify this, how much should I get? 225 plus 9 2s are 18, 1 in hand, 9 3s are 27, 28. So if you plus this one, 225 plus 288. So 3, 1 in hand, 10, 11, 1, 1 in hand, 513. So the answer here is 513, which is option number T. So that's the answer there. Let's move on to next. So I'm starting with some simple questions only, okay? So now this is a pie chart type of question. In exam, most of the time we see a question based on pie chart. So it's an interesting thing to learn. What is asked here? The question says, in the summer, a survey was conducted among 400 people about their favorite beverages. So that's what this data says. So then what do we need to find? We need to find what is the total central angle of iced tea and cold drinks. Where is iced tea? Iced tea is this one, and cold drinks, where is it? Is this one. You look at this data here. What it is given in terms of percentage. So if your data is given in terms of percentage, always remember that the total value will be 100%, okay? And if your data is given in terms of degree, it may be 60, you may be given something like, if you have a jar like this and it may be given 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree. If it's like that, remember that the total value of this one will always be 360, okay, 360 degree. So what is given? Here, we need to find the central angle for how much percent? Iced D is how much? 6%. And cold drinks is how much? Cold drinks is 2%. So if I plus this one, it will be 8%. So we need to find the angle for 8%. Okay, we need to find the angle for 8%. So 100% is how much? 360. So can I write 1% is equal to 360 divided by 100? Why? Because 100% is 360. So 1%, if I transfer this 100 to the other side, it will go here. So 1% will be how much? 360 divided by 100. Now, how much do I need to find? I need to find for 8%. So I just need to multiply by 8. So 8%, I'll just multiply by 8. 360 into 8 divided by 100. So 0, 0 cancel. So if you simplify this, how much should I get? 8, 6 are 48, 4 in hand. 8 is 24, 8, 28. Divided by 10. But if you have 10 in the denominator, what do? We just write one place point, right? So it will be 28.8. So the answer is 28.8, which is option number A. That's the answer there. Are we clear with this? Any doubts regarding this? If you're clear, you can give a thumbs up. If you want me to repeat, you can type in repeat. I'll repeat again. Okay. Looks like it's clear. Let's move on to the next. The next question is based on ages. The question says, your mother is 4 years younger than your father, who is 6 times older than you. And if your age is 6 years, okay, let's create an equation. This is your mother and this is your father. The question says, your mother is 4 years younger than your father. That means if your father's age is X, then your mother's age will be 4 years younger, which means 4 years minus. If your father's age is X, then your mother's age will be X minus 4. Why? Because your mother is 4 years younger than your father. That's number one thing. The next thing is, your father is 6 times older than you. Your father's age is 6 times older than you. But the question says like this, your age is how much? If your age is 6 years, so your father's age will be, if your age here, this one is 6, then your father's age will be how much? Your father's age will be 6, 6 are 36. So your father's age is 36, and we know that your mother's age is how much? 4 years younger. So 36 minus 4. 4 years younger means we need to subtract minus 4, which is equal to 32. So your mother's age will be 32, which is option number T there. Are we okay with this? Shall I move on? Next. Okay. The next question is, it's a question based on line graph. So the question is, what is X? If the data here is income is in terms of this one, and this one is in terms of years. So if this is income, sometimes like this, I'll just explain you something here. If you have a data here, and this is 30 and this is 40, we have a term here between these two, but the value here is not given. Always remember that the value of this one will always be the middle point of these two. So what's the middle point of 40 and 30? It will be 35. So the value of this one will be 35. The value of this one will also be 35. Okay. So before solving DI, always go through what is given in the data. So here, triangle represents A, and this rectangle represents B. That's the two things that is given. So shall we try to solve this? What is given? If the expenditure of a company B is in 1997 is this one. Okay, expenditure is given. Expenditure of company B is given as, oh, let me just write. In the year 1997, it is given as 50 lakhs. And the next thing is, the percentage profit earned by both company A and P in 1997 is equal. That means if the profit percentage of B is equal to profit percentage of A, if B is getting a profit, if B is getting a profit of 20 rupees or 20%, then A will also be getting a profit, will be getting 20%. That means their profit percentage is same. If A is earning a profit of, B is earning a profit of 20%, A will also be earning a profit of 20%. That's what the question says, okay? So let's try to follow the question as well. Then, what is the amount of profit earned by company A in 1997? So we are asked to find the profit earned, not profit percentage, okay? Profit earned by A. So whenever you see this type of question, there is a formula, general formula, we call it income expenditure type of question. Income is equal to expenditure plus saving. But I'll derive this formula a little bit. Income, or if I want to find profit, let's say, if I want to find profit, profit will be equal to the income that you are getting and how much money you are spending. So this is the formula here. So profit is nothing but the amount that you earn minus the amount that you spend will be the profit percentage there. Simplest example, if you are buying a book at 20, let's say 200 rupees, and your expenditure of book is, let's say, 180, then your profit will be how much? 200 minus 180, which is equal to 20. So 20, there will be profit there. So that's the concept I'm using here, okay? So let me start with that. So the profit is income minus expenditure. But what does the question says? If you look here, the question says like this: the income of A. Let us find the income of, income of B in the year 1997. So in the year 1997, if you look here, 1997, in the year 1997, what's the income of B? B is this one. So this is B's income. So B's income is how much? Income is between these two, which means, can I say it's 55? So the income of B is nothing but 55 lakh. Now I can find the profit very easily. Why? Because I know the expenditure. I know the income. Yo, this one. Okay, I'll be providing the PDF. So if I know income and if I know expenditure, I can easily know my profit here, because profit is nothing but income minus expenditure. So income, so profit for B, okay, profit for B will be, income is how much? 55 lakhs minus expenditure is how much? Expenditure is 50 lakhs. So which means the profit of B is nothing but how much? 5 lakhs. So B is earning a profit of 5 lakhs. But I need to find profit percentage of B. B is earning a profit of how much? 5. Out of how much? What was the total income of B? Total income of B in the year 1997 was how much? In the year 1997, B's income was 55 lakhs. So divided by 55, I need to get my answer in terms of percentage, so I'll multiply by this one. So this is the profit percentage. I'll just cancel this one. 5 11s are, which means 100 divided by 11 is our profit percentage of B. But the question says like this: the profit percentage of B is equal to the profit percentage of what? Of A. So which means the profit percentage of A will also be this much percent. This is the profit percentage of A as well. So let us find the profit percentage of that. What is it given? Income of A in the year 1997. Okay, we need to find income of A in the year 1997. So what is the income of A in the year 1997? In the year 1997, A's income is 60. So A is earning. So I'll just write income of A is nothing but 60 lakhs. And A is earning a profit of how much percent? A is earning a profit of this much percent. Out of this 60 lakhs, A is earning 100 divided by 11%. So this is the income here. So you simplify this. I'll leave this one for you. Okay, you just multiply and divide. Let's try to save some time. Okay, so I'll leave that for you. Let's go to the next question. Next question is 6 friends. It's a question based on seating arrangement. Question number 3. Okay. So since someone wants me to repeat this, okay, you look here. Here in this question, we just need to find the central angle for cold strings and iced tea. Cold strings percentage is 2% and the iced tea percentage is 6. So the total percentage of iced tea and cold strings is nothing but 8%. But like I've told you earlier, if it is given in terms of percentage, that means the decree will be how much? The total value will be 100%. And we know that the total angle of this one, total angle of a circle is how much? 360. So this 100% will be nothing but 360 degree, because 100 is the total percentage and 360 is the total in terms of degree. So we need to find for 100%, if this is if it is 360, that means 1% will be 360 divided by 100. That is the value. So which means 1% will be, we have this. So we just need to find for how much percent. We need to find for 8%. For 8%, it will be 360. You just multiply by 8. So if you solve this, you will get 28 point something percent. That's the answer here. I hope you are following me with that. Clear? So Ryu is from village. So this one divided by 8 divided by 100 into 400 possible. For which one? I'm not getting your question, okay? For the bar chart. 8 divided by 8 divided by 100 into 400. Is it? No, it won't be 400. Okay, if you are using by other approaches, it will be like this, something like this. Percentage is how much? Let me just write with this pen, okay? So you look here, since one of your friends wants to clarify this. The total percentage here is for iced tea and gold strings is how much? 8%. Out of how much? Out of 100. We just multiply by 360, because the total central angle is 360. So if you simplify this also, you will get the same thing also. I'm using this just for understanding. So if you want to, if you are good with this, you can do like this. The total percentage you need is 8. Out of how much? The total for percentage is 100%. Into total angle is how much? 360, which is exactly the same as this one only. So if you solve this, you'll get this one, okay? So let's go to next. Okay, welcome. The next question is seating arrangement. 6 friends, A, B, C, D, are seated on a round table. So always, I used to repeat this one every time when I take class. Circular arrangement is very important for NPSC and NSSB, okay? So we have 6 person here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The question says, FDR facing center, that means looking inside the circle. Remember, whenever you are solving sitting arrangement kind of question, you imagine yourself sitting here. That means if you imagine yourself sitting here, this is your right side, this is your left side. You can easily say that. Or if you imagine yourself sitting here, you can easily say that this is your left side and this is your right side. You just imagine yourself being seated there, okay? So F is between A and F is between, the question says F is between A and T. So I can create 2 cases here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is too long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So F is between A and T. So F can be here, but A can be here and D can be here. I have 2 cases here. So A can be here, or A can be here, or D can be here, or D can be here. But F is between A and D. That's what the question says. Now, the next question is, the next statement is, C is between E and B. C is between E and B. If you look at this one, we don't have any relation. So I'll just write like this. C is between E and B, just for our reference. Next is E is not between D and C. E is not between T and C. That means this E is not between T and C. That's one thing, but let me just give this one aside for once. I may need this one later. D is second to the left of C. Okay, this is what I can use. D is second to the left of C. So if I assume C here, left side will be this side, right? So which means I'm gonna use here. So I'll assume another one. If C is here, then the left side will be this side, right? So left side of C, the question says D is second to the left of C. If this is C, first, second, which is D. So this assumption, I can cancel this assumption here. Why? Because I cannot put C here. If I am to let D sit to the left of C, that means C should be placed here and I have A here. So this assumption is wrong. So we have this now. Now the question says, let us go back to the statement, what we have written. E is between C and B. E is between C and B. That's one thing. E is between what? E is between, okay. D is second to the left of D is second to the left of C. That's one thing. And let's go back to the statement here. E is not between D and C. That means I cannot put E here. I cannot put E here. I cannot put E here. Why? Because the question says E is not between D and C. E is not between. So we have only one slot left where I can insert E. So I'll just put here directly E. E is here. So if E is here, the question says this statement says C is between E and P. So what is asked? Who is between A and C? Who is between A and C? Between A and C, who is it? E is the answer here. So the answer here is E. Okay. So next question. It's an interesting question. It's a good question, so to say. Applied to a bill of 50,000. That means we have 50,000. Applied to a bill of 50,000. The question says we are asked to find the difference between the discount of 25. Okay, there is a discount of 25%. 25%, there's a discount, to that of two successive discount of 20 and 10%. To that of two successive discount of 20 and 10%. There means we are comparing this discount and another discount, which is 20% discount and 10% discount. So we know something. We know the successive discount rule. If there is a discount of 20% and 10%, what's the discount formula? Discount formula is x plus y minus xy divided by 100. This is the discount formula or successive percentage discount formula. Okay. So x, I'll assume 20 plus 10 minus 20 into 10 divided by 100. So 0, 0, 0, 0 cancel. 20 plus 10 is how much? 30 minus 2, which is equal to 28%. So the discount of two successive discount of 20% and 10% gives me a discount of how much? 28%. We are comparing this one with what? With 25%. So we have one discount which is 25%, and we have another discount which is 28%. Why? Because the combination of these two gives us 28% there. What is asked? What's the difference between these two discount? What's the difference between these two discount? What's the difference between these two discount? Can I say that there is 3% difference between these two? 28 minus 5, we can say it's 3 directly. So the difference between these two discount, there is a difference of 3%. 3% of what? 3% of this one. Okay. So now, let me just insert one more slide. In our question, it says 100% is given as how much? 50, 1, 2, 3, 50,000. So 1% will be how much? 50, 1, 2, 3 divided by 100. This is 1%. What do we need? The difference between these two discount, which is 25% and 28%, the difference between these two is how much? 3%. So the difference is 3%. So I just need to find for 3%. If 1% is this one, 3% will be 5, 1. Can I just cancel directly here? 5, 1, 2 into 3. So 5 3s are 15. 1, 2, 1,500 is the answer. So the answer here is, which is option number C. I hope you are following me with this. Any doubts regarding this one? If it's clear, you give a thumbs up, and let's move on to next. Okay. the next question is, okay, it's a question based on mensuration. So let's try to solve this. What is given? A wire in a form of circle of radius. Okay, we have a wire and which makes a circle of radius 3.5 centimeter. Radius is given as 3.5. Is bent in the form of a rectangle. Okay, it's bent. That means let me just break a point here. If I use this one, if I use the length of this one, okay, the length of this one, if I use the length of this one and convert it to a rectangle, that means we are using the same wire and we are converting it to rectangle. Okay, so when we talk about wire, that means we are talking about this one only. If you want to find the length of the wire, what do we call this one in terms of circle? We call this one as circumference, right? Because if you have a circle, this one, inside this one, we call it area. And if you this outer edge or the boundary, we call it circumference. So circumference of a circle formula is how much? 2 by r is circumference of a circle. Okay. So 2 by r is the circumference of a circle formula. So if I want to find the length of this wire, the length of this wire, I'm using this same wire and converting it to this one. This is the same wire that we used here, and same wire I'm using to create a rectangle. But the question says like this: the rectangle length and breadth is in terms of 6:5. So if length is 6x, then breadth will be 5x. Always use a variable along with the number if it is given in terms of percentage. I mean, if it is given in terms of ratio. Okay. Now, so let us find the length of the wire first. Okay, what's the length of the wire? Or can I say like this: circumference of a circle is equal to, in terms of rectangle, what do we call this one? We call it perimeter of a rectangle. Excuse me. Am I audible? Okay. So I can say that the circumference of a circle is equal to perimeter of a rectangle. What's the circumference of a circle formula? Circumference of a circle formula is, like I've written earlier, it is 2 by r, which is equal to perimeter of a rectangle is what? Formula is 2 times of L plus B, 2 times of length plus breadth, okay? So 2 times of by is how much? 22 by 7 into what is R? R value is given in our question. The R value is this one, 3.5. So the R value is, I'll just write 3.5, which is equal to 2 times of, let me just transfer this one a little bit here. Okay. Length, I'm assuming is this one, 6. So 6x plus 5x. Length and breadth is 6x and 5x. So if you simplify this, I'll just directly simplify. 2 into 22 divided by 7 into 35 can be written, 3.5 can be written as 35 divided by 10. I'm removing the point here, which is equal to 2 into 6 plus 5 is how much? 10x. 6x plus 5x is 10x. 2 and 2 will get cancel each other. And after that, I just need to find the value of x here. So if we simply 7 5s are 35, 5 2s are 10, 2 11s are. So which means how much are we getting? 11 divided by 10, which is equal to, oh, is it? Oh, this one is 11. Okay, so sorry. 11 divided by 11, which is x. So x value is nothing but 1. So we are getting the value of x as 1 there. Yeah, thank you for that. So if x is 11, what is x? We are asked to find the area of a rectangle. What's the area of a rectangle formula? Area of a rectangle formula is length into breadth. So length here is 6x, which is equal to 6 into 1, which is equal to 6. and breadth here is 5x. So 5 into 1, which is equal to 5. So 6 into 5, which is equal to 6 5s are 30. So the area is 30 centimeter square, which is option number T. So this type of question, you just need to know formula. That's the only thing. I don't have any key out there. Okay, let's go to the next question. The next question here is based on algebra. Okay, and this is also important, especially for NPSC. I don't think they may ask this one in NSSB, but let's give it a try. The difference between two-digit number. So before going to this question, let me give you a concept here. Let's say I have 25. If I have 25, 25 can be written as this way, right? 22 into 10 plus 5. 2 into 10 is 20. 2 into 10 is 20 plus 5 will give me 25. So any two-digit number can be written as the first number into 10 and plus the second number. So another way, same thing. If you have 54, if you want to write this one, can I write 5 into 10 plus 4? So the first 10 digit here is this one, and the ones digit here is this one. So 10's digit into 10 plus 4 is the formula here. So now I'll just write it this way. If I assume the two-digit number is 10 times of x plus y, that means the two-digit number is xy. If the two-digit number is xy, then what will it look like? It will look like this. 10 times of the 10th term or 10th term and plus the ones digit there. So this is the number here. The question says like this. The difference between the two-digit number and the number obtained by interchanging the position of the digit. So it's like this. If you interchange the position of this one, you will get 52 because you are changing the position of 2 and 5. 2 and 5. So I'm sending this 2 here and I'm bringing this one 5 here. That means interchanging the digits position here. That's what the question says. So can I write this one like this? This can be written as 5 into 10 plus 2. Why? Because this 10 should be here and the 1 should be here. So the original number was 10x plus y, but after interchanging, the number will be how much? 10y plus x, right? Because we are interchanging the position of the digit. And the question says like this. If I subtract this 2, if I subtract this 10x minus plus y minus 10y plus x, then the difference between these two digits, is nothing but 36. So the difference between this number and this number is nothing but 36. That's what the question says. So if the difference between this one is 36, so let's just solve this one further. We need to find what is the difference between the two digits of the number. That means the difference between x and y, because x is one of the digits and the other digit is y. We need to find the difference between these two. So 10x plus y minus 10y. Remember, I'm multiplying plus into minus into plus, which is minus. X is equal to 36. So 10x minus x will give me 9x. That means 10 minus 1 will give us 9 there. And 10 minus 10y plus y will give me minus 9y. From 10, if I remove 1, I'll get 9. But remember, the greater number here is 10 and it is carrying a minus sign. That's the reason why I'm using minus sign here, which is equal to 36. So I can take 9 common out. X minus y is equal to 36. So x minus y is equal to 36. If I transfer this 9 to the other side, where will it be? It will go down in my denominator, which is 9. 9 for the 36. So we are getting x minus y is nothing but 4. So the answer is 4, which is option number D there. I hope you're following me with this one. Any clarification you need to? If you want me to clarify, I'll clarify. If not, we'll move on, okay? Okay, let's move on to the next question. This is question number 15 only. We still have lots of questions. The average of 7 number is 80. The average of 7 number is 80. So which means average of 7 number is given as 80. And what is given? I'll just write like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is 7 number. Average is 80. Average of the first three number. Average of the first three number. That means average of this three number is given as, average is given as, three number is given as 30. And the average of the last three number is 40. That means average of this last four number is again given as, average of last three numbers given as 40. We know by the average formula, if you are following me, average formula is nothing but the sum of the term divided by number of term. If you want to find the sum of the number will be nothing but average into the number of terms. Okay, so this is the formula. Sum of the number or sum of the term is nothing but average into the number of terms. So let me find the sum of this one. Let us find the sum of this three number. So sum of this three number will be 30 into, this is the average, and how many numbers? Three numbers. So the sum of this one is 90. So the sum of the first three, this three number is nothing but 90. Let us find the sum of this last three number. So sum of the last three number is 40 into 3. Why? Because we are talking about this three number. It's good. So four threes are how much? 4 threes are 12, so 120. So this is what we are getting. So we have 90, we have 120. So this part, the sum of this one and this one together, let us find, leaving aside this one. So 90 plus 120 will give me 210, which is the sum of this one and the sum of this one. We are leaving out this one. But let us find, including this number, including the middle term, okay? So sum, average is how much? Average is 80. Average of this 7 number is 80 into what's the number of terms here is 7. 7 8s are how much? 56. So the total of all this 7 number is 560. And if I remove this middle number, I'm getting 210. So the removed number will be the difference between these two. So if you find the difference between these two, which is 560 minus 210, 0, 6 minus 1 is 5, 5 minus 2 is 3. 350 is the answer there. So which is option number D. Okay. So if you have watched any of my other videos, then you might have seen that question. So let's go to the next question. The next question here is simple interest type of question. So simple interest question. I'll give you the concept and I'll let you solve the term here since we are running out of time. We are still at question number 19. Okay. Simple interest on a certain sum of money. On a certain sum of money is for this one and this one. So there is two groups of simple interest. The first simple interest is, first group of simple interest 1. The time for this one is given as 2.5 years. And the rate is given as 12%. That is what we are given. And simple interest 2. Let us read the question once. The simple interest on a certain sum of money for 2.5 years is at 12% per annum is 40, less than the simple interest on the same sum for 3.5 years, 10 per annum. Find the sum. Okay. Yeah, even though it's removed, it's not removed from NPSC. So I'm discussing this one from NPSC point of view as well, okay, since NPSC is approaching. Now, there's another simple interest 2, where the principal for this one and this one is same, okay? Because the question says on the same sum, that means on the same money. Time is nothing but 3.5 years, and the rate is given as how much? 10%. So the question says like this. The difference between these two, okay. Yes, I'll try to upload. So let's follow the question. The simple interest on a sum of money, this one, is 40 less than. That means this first simple interest is 40 less than. That means simple interest 1 plus 40 will give me simple interest 2. Or can I say like this? Simple interest 2 minus simple interest 1 will give me 40. So whichever way you can understand, you can follow that. Because the question says the simple interest on this one is 40 less than the simple interest on this one. That means we have this second simple interest. This is more because the first one is less than the first one is less than the second one. So from the second one, if you subtract the simple interest of the second one, first one, you will get 40 there. So you directly you put the value principal into rate of interest into time divided by 100 minus principal into rate of interest into time divided by 100 is given as 40. So what is the principal for the second one? Principal is x, and the rate of interest is how much? 10. But remember, time here is 3.5 years. So 3.5 years will be, if I'm the right in terms of fraction, how will it be? You just treat it like a mixed fraction. So 2 3s are 6 plus 1 is 7 divided by 2. So the rate of interest, the time here will be 7 divided by 2 into 100 minus principal here is how much? Principal here is x into rate of interest here is 12 into time here is how much? Time here is, I'll have to reduce this one as well, time 2.5 years. 2.5 years will be 2 to the 4 plus 1 is 5 divided by 2. So 5 divided by 2 into 100, which is equal to 40. So you simplify this one. I'll leave this one for you. You simplify this further and get the answer. You can drop your comments there, okay? If you are not getting, you can clear your doubts from the group itself. Okay, it's a very interesting question, this question. A dog digs 3 leaps. Okay, your friend is getting 800. So keep in mind, some are getting 800, okay? A dog digs 3 leaps, that means a dog digs 3 leaps, this is dog, for every 5 leap of hair. That means which is the 3 leap of dog will be equal to every 5 leap of hair. That's the first part of the question. Second part of the question is what? If 1 leap of a dog is equal to 3 leap of a hare, I can write this one. 1 leap of a dog is equal to 3 leap of a hare. So we have two things here, which is this one and this one. I'll try to convert this one in terms of, because here we are asked to find what? The ratio of the speed of the dog to that of the hare. That means speed of the dog divided by speed of the hare. We need to find this two ratio. So what do we know by the speed? Speed formula is what? Speed is equal to distance by time. Distance by time. This is speed formula. Remember, the dog and the hare, they are traveling for the same time. Yeah, there's one blood relation question, I guess. So they are traveling for the same time. So in this case, what I'll do is I'll do like this. I'll assume this one as the distance covered by the dog. So if I want to find speed of dog, the distance covered by the dog is this one, divided by the time taken by the dog will be d. Let's say the dog is traveling for t time and the hare is also traveling for d. Okay. Next is the speed of the hare is how much? Let me assume this one. The hare traveled for how much? 5 into L, this one. 5 leap divided by the time taken is d only. So we just need to find the ratio of this one and this one. I'll repeat again. This may be a bit confusing for you guys. We need to find speed of a dog divided by the speed of the hare. We know speed formula is distance divided by time. Now, in this case, what I'm doing is I'm assuming that 3 leap of dog is the distance traveled by the dog. And 5 leap of hare is the distance traveled by the hare. So this is distance divided by time. We know that the dog and the hare, they are traveling for the same time, okay? That means if the dog is traveling for 5 minutes, the hare is also traveling for 5 minutes. So we need to find a ratio of this one. Speed of the dog divided by speed of the hare is nothing but 3 into LT divided by D to the power, or divided by 5 into the leap of the hare divided by time. So time and time will get cancelled each other there. Now speed of the dog divided by speed of the hare is nothing but what? 3 into leap of a dog divided by leap of 5 into leap of the hare. Now, from this equation, I'll use the next equation here. What is the next equation? This is the equation given. The leap of a dog is given as how much? 3 times the leap of the hare. So in place of this one, in place of this, the leap of a dog, I'm going to write this one. 3 times the leap of the hare. Because 1 leap of a dog is equal to 3 leap of a hare. So I'm going to write that, which can be written as 3 into 3 times the leap of the hare divided by 5 times the leap of the hare. This one and this one will get cancelled each other. How much are we getting? 3 3s are 9 divided by 5. So which will imply that 9 is to 5. We have in the option, I guess, yeah, which is option number C there. Any doubts there? If you're clear with that, I'll move on. Okay. The only tricky part was this one, this assumption. After assuming that, after reaching this point, what you need to do is that you put this value here. Then you'll get the answer here, okay? Even this one, I'll leave this one for you. It's an average question. I've done some video based on this one as well. Since we are running out of time, and I have still 20 more questions to do. Okay. The next question is, it's a very interesting question. David gets on an elevator at 11th floor. Okay, it's a ordering ranking type of question. 11th floor of the building and rides up at a rate of 57th floor per minute. Okay, there is David. Let me just draw like this. David is here, which is the 11th floor. And he's traveling up at a speed of how much? 57 floor per minute. And the question says again, at the same time, Albert gets on an elevator at 51st floor. That means Albert, this is Albert, and gets on at 51st floor. What is it? Same time, and writes down at a rate of 63 floor per minute. Okay, Albert is going down at a speed of how much? 63 floor per minute. If they continue traveling at the same rate, then at which floor will their butts cross? So if Albert is traveling down like this, and if David is traveling up, obviously they will meet at a certain point, and we are asked to find at which floor will they meet. So it's a very lengthy question, so to say, or a little bit tricky question. I'll try to make it a bit simple. If you can follow me with that, that will be a good thing. Oh, let me insert one more slide. Okay, what I'll do is, we know from speed, time, and distance, if there is two moving bodies, then we need to find relative speed. We call it relative speed. If there is two moving bodies, okay, so the relative speed will be, relative speed, there's two formulas. If they are both are traveling in the opposite direction, or if both are traveling in the same direction, there's different formula for that. So in this case, both of them are traveling in the opposite direction. Why? Because Albert is traveling down and David is traveling up. That means one is traveling up and the other one is traveling down. They are traveling in the opposite direction, which means the formula will be speed 1 plus speed 2. That is relative speed formula if they are traveling in the opposite direction. Okay, so 63 plus 57, which is equal to 7 plus 3 is 0, 1 in hand, 120. So 120 floor per minute is their relative speed. This is the relative speed. Relative speed means the speed itself. Speed is equal to distance by time. Speed is distance by time. So the speed, this one is nothing but this one now, 120 floors per minute. That's the speed, okay? But we don't know the distance between those two. What's the distance? If Albert is at 51st floor and David is at 11th floor, then how many floors are there between this one, or how many floors are there? So can I say like this? Albert is at 51st. If I subtract this 11th floor, then the distance between these two will be nothing but 0 and 4. The distance between Albert and David is there's 40 floors between these two. There's 40 floors, okay? There's 40 floors. Because Albert is at 51st floor and David is at 11th floor, that means the floor between Albert and David is 40 there. So which means the distance between these two is 40 floors. So speed, time, and distance formula, distance divided by time. Distance is, I just need to find time here. Time is how much? Time is equal to distance divided by speed. Or simple way, it's like this. Speed, time, and distance, I use this one a lot. Speed is equal to distance divided by time. Here in this case, you are asked to find time. You are asked to find time, this one, time. So which means time will be equal to this one divided by this one. Distance divided by time. I mean distance divided by speed. So let us put the value. Time is nothing but distance is how much? Distance is 40 floor. And what's the speed? Speed, they are traveling at 120 floor per minute. 120. 0, 0 cancel. 4, 3 are 12. That means 1 by 3 is the time. That means David and Albert meet after 1 by 3 minute. 1 by 3 minute. Albert is going down, David is going up. And they are meeting after 1 by 3 minutes. So which means you can either use Albert or you can either use David to get how much distance did David traveled or how much distance did Albert travel. So what I'll do is I'll use Albert here. So Albert is traveling at how much? 63, I guess. 63 floor per minute. Okay. For Albert, the speed of Albert is 63 floor per minute. And Albert is traveling for how long? They are traveling for 1 by 3. So the distance traveled by Albert will be, distance is what? Using this one, distance is speed into time. Distance is speed into time. That is distance. So distance is speed into time. So what is speed here? Speed is 63. Into time is how much? 1 by 3. 3 to the 6, 3, 1 to 3. That means 21 floor. The distance traveled by Albert is nothing but how much? 21 floor. So Albert is traveling down the floor, and Albert traveled for how much? 21 floor. From 51st floor, Albert traveled down for 21 floor. That means from 51, if I remove 21, then I'll get the meeting point of Albert and David, okay? So how much is it? 51 minus 21, 0 here, 3, 0. So the answer here is 3, 0. Because Albert floor is 51 and Albert traveled for how much? For 21 floor. So which means this is 3, 0. That's the answer there. How is it? Any doubts there? Obviously, it's a little bit tricky question, so to say. But it's a very good question. Next question. It's a how much? It's a simple interest type of question. Okay. Oh, it's on a certain sum of money on compound interest, one gets 9,500 on the second year and 9,500 in the 3 years. Okay. It's a very simple question. I'll just give you the concept and I'll let you solve. The question says compound interest, but it is not a compound interest question. It's a simple interest question. Why? Because the starting year is 9050. This is the principal. And let's say this is the second year. And for the third year, it is 9500. This is the third year. Always remember, compound interest for 1 year and simple interest for 1 year are the same thing only, okay? So we are talking about only 1 year here. So we just need to find the rate of interest. So can I say like this? I lent out 9,050 rupees and I got the total amount of 9,500 rupees after 1 year. So what will be the interest earned? Interest earned will be, I got an amount of 9,500 and the principal is how much here? 9050. If you remember simple interest formula, simple interest is how much? Amount minus principal. So this is amount, this is principal. I mean, this is so sorry. This is amount. Amount means how much money you are getting back along with the money that you have given out. That is amount, okay? And this one is the principal. How much money you give out to someone, that is called principal. So this is the total amount you're getting back, and this is the amount that you have given out. That means there is an interest of 450 rupees. Simple interest is 450 rupees. Simple interest formula was what? Principal into rate of interest into time divided by 100, which is equal to 450. What's the principal? We don't, I think we know the principal here, which is 9050 is our principal, into what is the rate of interest? We need to find that. So rate of interest into time. This is the second year and this is the third year. That means we are talking about only 1 year here. Second year, third year. That means only 1 year here. The time is 1 year. Divided by 100 is equal to 450. So 0, 0 cancel. And the rate of interest here will be, 450 into then divided by 905. So you simplify this one, I'll leave this one for you. Okay. So you'll get the rate of interest there. I hope you followed the concept there, because the concept is more important than the answer. Okay, next question. This question was a very tricky question. So to say, it was not a very easy question, okay? So the question here says, in a factory, there is 40% technicians and 60% non-technicians. So let me just use like this. There is 100% in the factory, and out of that, the question says 40% are technicians and 60% are non-technicians. So let me just write technicians and non-technicians. 40% are technicians and 60% are non-technicians. Now the question says like this: if 60% of the technicians, that means 60% of the technicians, I'll just write that one for forget. 60% of the technicians and 40% of the non-technician, and the 40% of the non-technician, 40% of the non-technicians are permanent employee. That means they are permanent employee. This one, 60% is a permanent employee, and even this one, 40% is a permanent employee. That means there are some certain percentage which are non-permanent or temporary workers. So we need to find, what is it? The percentage of the workers who are temporary. So what's the percentage here? Out of 100, if 40% is permanent, the remaining will be how much? 60% will be temporary. Why? Because 40% is permanent, so which means the remaining will be how much? 60%, which is temporary. Same thing goes for this one. If 60% is permanent, that means the remaining will be how much? 40% will be temporary. We need to find this one and this one. If you have attended any of my class based on election, then you might know this. What we do is, I do like this. Since we need to find this value, I'll just follow this path like this. I'll follow this path like this, and I need to find for this one temporary. So again, I'll follow this path like this. So 40% of 40% of how much? Of 100. This is for this part. For this part. So what I'm doing is 40% of this 40% of 100 is what I'm getting. This is the temporary employee. 40% of this 40% of this 40 of this 100 plus the other one is same thing, 60% of this 60% of 100. So 60% of this 60% of 100. Can you please mute yourself? So we have two parts, which is this one is technical and this one is non-technical. So for technical, this is the temporary employee, and for non-technical, this is the temporary employee there. So let us solve this one. How do you convert from percentage to fraction? 40% of 100 into 40 divided by 100. Because I'm converting from percentage to fraction, I just need to divide it by 100 into 100 plus, okay, some of your friends are getting 50. So 60 divided by 100 into 60 divided by 100 into 100. So 100, 100 cancel, 100, 100 cancel, 0, 0 cancel, 0, 0 cancel, 0, 0, 0, 0. 4 fours are 16 plus 6 6 are 36, which is equal to 6 6 is 12, 2 1 in hand, 3 4 5. I'm getting 52%, which is the answer there. This is 52. I hope we are clear with this. Okay, let's go to the next. Okay, the next question is, it's a simply approximation type of question. So this question, you need to know some shortcuts here. Excuse me once. So we need to find square root of 19.36 plus root over 9 plus question mark whole square, which is equal to 9.4. For some, this will be very easy, but there are some people who, for some, it will be very hard. So now you need to find the square root of this. How do we find square root of a number like this? If there is point, you remove the point first. 36 divided by 100. I'm removing the point. That means 2 plus point. I can remove like that. We know 100. This can be written as how much? 10 into 10 divided by 10 into 10. But what's the square root of 19? Square root of, you need to find the square root of 1936. What's the square root of this? How do we find this? Square root of 1936. If I want to find the square root of this, this number is ending by 6. If a number is ending by 6, that means the square root of that number will end by either how much? 4 or 6. Now, whenever you're finding square root, what do? We divide 2 to each, and we take this 19. 19 lies between which square and which square? 19 lies between 4 square and 5 square. This smallest number here will belong here. So we have two options here. The answer is either 44 or 46. The square root of 1936 is either 44 or 46. But we don't know. In order to decide that, what we do is we multiply this number here, and this number. 4 5s are how much? 20. We compare this two number. We compare this number here, 19, and this one. Since this one is smaller, I will go for the smaller number. So square root of this one is nothing but square root of 1936 is nothing but 44. So I can write this one as 44 into 44, which is equal to 44 divided by 10. Can I write this one as 4.4? Why? Because one place point there. So the square root of 19.36 is nothing but 4.4. That's what I've got. Now, let's put the value. 4.4 plus, we still have root over 9 plus question mark whole square, which is equal to how much? 9.4. 9.4. I'll transfer this one to the other side. So square root of 9 plus question mark whole square, which is equal to 9.4 minus 4.4. 9.4 minus 4.4 is 0. 9 minus 4 is how much? 9 minus 4 is 5. 5.0. So root over 9 plus question mark whole square. If you transfer this square root to the other side, it will be how much? It will be square, okay? 9 plus question mark whole square. If you transfer this one to the other side, it will be 5 whole square. 5 square is how much? 25. And 9 plus question mark whole square. So 25, if you transfer this 9 to the other side, it will be minus 9. So question mark whole square. I'll just continue here. 25 minus 9 is 16. This is question mark whole square. If you transfer this square to the other side, it will be square root. So that means the value of question mark was nothing but square root of 16. Square root of 16 is how much? Can I write it 4 into 4, which is equal to 4? So the answer here was 4. Is it in the option? Yes, which is option number B there. So for some it may be easy, but for some it will be a bit complex. So let's go to the next. Next question is a question based on trigonometry. In NSSB, they will not ask this, but in NPSC, they may ask this. So the question is like this. At the moment, the shadow length of a shaft, that means let me just assume that this is a shaft here, is 1 root 3 times the stature of the shaft. So let's say this is the shaft, that means it will cast a shadow of like this. So what I'll do is, the question says like this: the shadow length of the shaft is 1 root 3 times. So if this shaft is x, then the length of the shadow is this one. The length of this shadow is root 3 times the shaft. I'll grade a triangle like this. We are asked to find the age of the rise of the sun. That means we are asked to find what? The angle of this one. So which simply means this one also, okay? You need to find theta here. You just need to know one formula in height and distance. The formula is this: tan theta is equal to perpendicular by base. What is perpendicular and what is base? If you have a triangle like this, then let's say this is 90 degree. We say that this floor, we call it base, and this one, we call it perpendicular. That's the only thing you need to remember. And there is 2 or 3 formulas for tan theta. You just need to remember this: tan 30 degrees 1 by root 3, and then 60 degrees root 3. If you know this, I think you can do many of the questions based on this heights and distance or applied trigonometry. And in exam, we see this type of question as well, okay? Earlier in PYQ, we see some questions, especially in the NPSC. So what's the value here? I'll apply tan theta here, tan theta. If this is theta here, this one is perpendicular, which is tan theta is perpendicular by, what is base? Base is this floor one, right? Floor is how much? Root 3x. So x and x will get cancel each other. Then theta is equal to 1 by root 3. Then how much is 1 by root 3? Tan 30. That means, can I write here tan theta is equal to tan 30 degree. Why? Because 1 by root 3 value is nothing but tan 30. Then 10 cancel, that means theta is equal to 30 degree. So the answer here is 30 degree, which is option number A there. So that's how we approach. The only thing you need to remember is memorize this one. Just 3. You don't need to memorize sine theta, cos theta, anything. At least this 3, that is more than enough to solve most of the questions. Next question is a question based on, what is it? Or sine. It's a bottomless rule. I'll give you a trick how to solve this, and how do we save time on this type of question. The trick is like this. Always remember this division sign will always be between 2 terms which can divide each other. Okay, which can divide each other. Something like this. I cannot put division here. That's wrong. I cannot put division here. Why? Because this 5 cannot be divided by this one. I can put division here. Why? Because this 8 can be divided by 2. Somehow I can put division here, but that's a low chance there. So the only option is that I need to put division here so that I can get an integer there. So because in this type of question, you need to check every option, and it will take a lot of time. So what I'll do is I'll take a risk and check for that term where this becomes division. So if plus, where is division? Here, which means this will become plus. So I'm interchanging the position of division and plus. So let's check the answer there. 3 plus 5 into 8 divided by 2 minus 10. So 2 4s are 8. So 3 plus 5 4s are 20 minus 10. So 23 minus 10, which is equal to 13. So we got the answer with that. So that's a shortcut approach. It will save your time. I think it will save you a lot of time, because you need to check for option number A, option number B, option number C, and then D there. And the answer is only in D. So in that case, always this type of question, sign interchange type of question, always check for divisibility there. and then you'll get the answer there. So that's a shortcut trick. Next is, okay, there's 3%. I'll just use A, B, and C. Ankush, Bali, and Goldo. Okay, let me just use A, B, and C. A, B, and C. There's A, B, and C, and the question says like this: they subscribe 50,000 for a business. That means three of them they are investing on 50,000. That's what the question says. If three of them they are investing on 50,000, again it says A subscribes 400 more than B, and B 5,000 more than C. That means both of them they are comparing with C. Let's say C invested X rupees. Because of this statement, Bali invests how much? 5,000 more than C. B invests 5,000 more than C. So if B invests if C invested X, then B will be investing how much? 5,000 more. This is C's investment, and the question says B is investing 5,000 more. Again, next. Next is what? A subscribes 400 more than B. That means A, if B is subscribing for 1,000, this one, how much more? Plus, I'll just write plus here, 4,000 more, plus 4,000 more. This is the investment of A. So let us find their investment. A invested for X plus 9,000, and B invested for X plus 5,000, and C invested for X. So this is the investment. But what does the question say? Their total investment is nothing but 50,000. So I'll write like this. Investment of A plus investment of B plus investment of C is nothing but 50,000. This is the investment. So let us find the term X plus X plus X will be how much? 3 times of X. There is 3X. That's what we mean. So 9,000 plus 5,000 is 14,000, which is equal to 50, 1, 2, 3. So if I transfer this plus to the other side, it will be 3 times of X is equal to 50,000 minus 14,000. So what will be the answer for that? Let's solve this one. So X will be equal to, if we subtract this 1, 2, 3, and 10 minus 4 is 6, and 4 minus 1 is 3, divided by 3. 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, 1, 2, 3. So which means X value is nothing but 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This is the X value. X was what? X was C's investment. What is asked? We are asked to find how much out of the total profit of, okay, we need to find their investment ratios. So let me find A is to B is to C. C invested 12,000. Why? Because C invested for X, right? B invested for how much? X plus 5,000. That means 12,000 plus 5,000 is how much? Can I say it is 17,000? Because 12,000 plus 5,000 is 17,000. Same thing. A invested how much? X plus 9,000. X is 12,000. 12,000 plus 9,000 is how much? 12,000 plus 9,000, is it 21,000? Now, this 30, this 30, this 0 is cancelled. So A is investing 21, and B is investing 17, and C has invested for 12. This is their investment ratio. So one thing to remember in partnership type of question, profit is nothing but if A, B, and C are investing in a business, their profit ratio will be nothing but how the ratio of the investment only. Okay, so A is investing 21. Let me use in terms of rupees, 21 rupees, and B is investing 17 rupees, and C is investing how much? 12 rupees. But their total share is how much? The share of total share is how much? The share of A is 21, the share of B is 17, the share of C is 12. Their total share will be 7 plus 1, 3, 0, 1 in hand, and 1, 2, 3, and 5, 50. Their total share is 50, if my calculation is not wrong. And the question says like this: how much did A received out of a total profit of 35,000? That means there was a profit of 35,000. So there was a profit of 35,000, and out of that, A's share is how much? A's share is 21. Out of how much? Out of total 50. You look at their investment ratio. A invested 21 rupee or 21, and B invested 17, and C invested 12. Their total share is how much? 50. And out of this 50, A's share is asked. A's share is 21 out of 50. So if you simplify this, you will get the answer. I guess 0, 0 will get cancelled. 5, 7 are 35, 1, 2. So the answer here is 7, 1 are 7, 7, 2 are 14, and 0, 0. 14,700. Is it in option? Yes. Which is option number A. That is the answer there. Any doubts here regarding this one? Obviously, it was a little bit lengthy question. Can we move on to the next? It's already 9:23, so let's go to the next question. Okay, it's a question based on, what is it? It's a question based on denomination. There is a total of 480 rupees. So whenever you see a rupees type of question, always remember there will be number and there will be value. Always keep that in mind. So the question here says there is how much? 1 rupee, 5 rupees. So I'll just write 1 rupee, 5 rupee, and 10 rupee. And what does the question says? The question says the number of each notes of each denomination are equal. That means if there is X number of 1 rupee, there will be X number of 5 rupees, there will be X number of 10 rupees. Which simply means that if you have 5 pieces of 1 rupee, you will have another 5 piece of 5 rupee, and you will have another 5 piece of 10 rupee. That's what it means, okay? Now, if you have X number of 1 rupee, your value will be 1x. And if you have 5 number of X number of 5 rupees, it will be 5x. And if you have X number of 10 rupees, your value will be how much? 10x. I'll give you an example here. If you have 3 pieces of 5 rupee, then your value will be how much? 15 rupees, right? Because you have 3 pieces of 5 rupees. So how did I get 15 here? 5 into 3. So likewise, 5 rupees into x will be 5x. That's what I've used here, okay? But the question says like this: the total value, the value of this one is given as 480. So 1x plus 5x plus 10x is given as 480. So which means 5 plus 1 is 16x is equal to 480. So x is nothing but 480 divided by 16. 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8, 4 fours are 16, 4 threes are 12. So the x value is nothing but 30. What is asked in the question? We are asked to find the total number of notes that he has. That means x here is how much now? This is 30 pieces of 1 rupee. There's 30 pieces of 5 rupee. There's 30 pieces of 10 rupees. So total here will be how much? 30 plus 30 plus 30. 30 plus 30 plus 30, which is equal to 90. So the answer here is 90, which is option number C there. Remember, even though in your option there is 30, that will not be the answer, okay? Because there is 30 pieces of 1 rupee, there is 30 pieces of 5 rupee, there is 30 pieces of 10 rupees there. Are you clear with this? If you're clear, you can give a thumbs up. We'll move on to the next. Okay, let's go to the next. The next question is this one. It's a very simple question, but just by looking at this, you may get frightened. How do you solve this type of question? The simple thing is, make sure all the numbers are same. The numbers that is given here and the numbers that is given here should be same. So let us compare that and let us eliminate some options. I have 54, 3, 2, 7, 54, 3, 2, 7. Okay. 3, 5, 3, 5, 7, 2, 3, 5, 7, 2. 5, I just have 5, 7 here, but I have one. That means this will never be equal to this one. Why? Because the number is not the same. Again, let's check for another one. Is it the same? 5, 4, 3, 2, 7. Okay, that's fine. 3572. Okay, that's fine. 57, that's fine. That means this may be the answer, possibly. Let's say for the other one as well. 54327. Okay, that's correct. 53572. Yes, 57. So this two may be the answer. But which one will be the answer? In that case, you count like this. How many place point? One, one, two, three, four. So there is 4 place point here, and there is 1 place point here. Or can I just count directly? Let me just count directly here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 place point. Not one, another 1 place. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means there should be 8 place point. 8 place point. Let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which simply means that 8 numbers should be behind the point. That's what it means. Okay, you look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means there is 8 numbers that is behind the points, if I'm to discuss in layman's term. Okay, so now it will be how much? Let me count and check which will be the answer here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So which means this will not be the answer. Why? Because it is 9 plus point. There are 9 numbers that is behind the point. What about this? Let's count and check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So which means this is the answer. So that is how you approach this type of question. Are we clear with this? First, compare the number. After comparing the number, you just count the points. That is more than enough to get the answer. Okay, next question is this. Anil buys a calculator of... Okay, I think I've solved this one once, but I'll give you a shortcut tonight. How to solve this? Anil buys a calculator for 600 rupees and sells it to Vikash at 10% profit. So then if there is 10% profit, can I say like this? 100 rupees will be so, if I bought it for 100, then 10% profit, can I say it is 110? So I'll do like this. 100 rupees ka saman, I'm selling it for 110 rupees. Because there is a profit of 10%. There's a profit. So I bought it for 100 rupees, but I'm selling at 10% profit. That means 110. Yeah, I can write like that into, again, continuous. Okay, this is a continuous percentage change. So discount also, you can use this type of formula. It's fine with that. So Vikas sells it to Chandan at 5% profit. 5% profit. That means 100 rupees. If there is 5% profit, it will be how much? Can I say it's 105? Because 5% profit. 5% profit into, again, Jantan, after using for a certain time, he sells to Dinesh at a loss of 20%. At a loss of 20%. That means there's a loss here. 100 rupees, if there is a loss of how much? From 100%, if there is a loss of 20%, it will be how much? Can I say 80? 100 minus 20, it will be 80. So if you are following me with this, this is the answer. After simplifying this, it's fine. I'll repeat again. Since there is a profit of 10%, there is a profit of 10%, 100 rupees, if there's 10, I mean, 100%, if there's 10% profit, that means 110%. From 100, if there's 5% profit, that means 105 there. And again, from 100, if there's 20% discount or 20% loss, then it is 80 there. So shall we reduce this one and get the answer? 0, 0, 0, 0 cancel, another 0, another 0 cancel, another 0, another 0 cancels. So do we have any term to cancel? So 6 into 11 into 105 into 8 divided by 100. So this can be rewritten as, I'll just write 6 into 11 into 8 5s are 40, 8 1s are 8 divided by 100. So 0, 0 will get cancel each other. I'll multiply this, 6 8s are 48. How come 6 8? 6 4s are 24, 4 2 in hand. 6 8s are 48, 49, 50. 50 divided by into 11 divided by 10. So if you multiply this, I'll just write it down here. 4 plus 0 is another 4, and 0 plus 5 is 5, and another 5 divided by 10 there. So if there is, then in the denominator, what do? We just write 1 plus point, 554.4. So the answer here is option number C. That's the answer there. Are you clear with this? You can solve this one by many approach, okay? By net percentage change type of question, or you can solve it by approximation also. Shall we move on to the next? The next question is, how many questions is left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, too much question left here. Let me skip some questions, okay? Or for some question, I'll just give you the concept. You try by yourself, okay? I'll be providing you the PDF. How long will a boy take to run a square field of site 35 meter? So if you have a square field of site 35 meter, 35, 35, and 35. So let's say this is the starting point. If you are starting from here, you will be running around like this. And you will reach the final point there. If it runs at the rate of, that means this one is running at a rate of how much? 9 kilometer per hour. Can I say speed is 9 kilometer per hour? Kilometer per hour. You might have learned this one. If you're converting from kilometer per hour to meter per second, how do we do? We just divide we multiply by 5 by 18. So if I reduce this, it will be 9 twos are. That means 5 divided by 2 is the what is it? Meter per second is the speed of the man there. Or the speed of the boy there. And what is asked? How long will it take? So in order to run around this track, how long will it take if he runs at 5 divided by 2 meter per second? So can I find the length of this track? How long the distance he needs to travel? The length of this track will be, if you know square, we can say that this one is a perimeter of a square. Perimeter of a square formula is 4 into side, which is equal to 4 into 35. Or in simple words, one side is 35, another 35, another 35, another 35. You sum this one, you will still get the same value. So 4 5s are 20, 0 2 in hand, 4 3s are 12, 13, 14. So 140. 140 meter. The boy needs to run 140 meter, okay? We need to find time. Time is what? Time is distance by speed. Distance is how much? 140, if my calculation is not wrong. Divided by speed is how much? 5 divided by 2. So what is it? 140. If you have a fraction in the denominator, we write the reciprocal of that. Reciprocal of this one is 2 divided by 5. 5, how much? 5 2s are 10 and 5 8s are 40. 28 into 2 is how much? Can I say it's 56? 56 second is the answer. Is it in the option? Yes. Option number D, which is 56 second. Are we clear with that? Okay. Let's go to the next question. It's a question based on triangle. A smaller triangle is having 3 sides, and the bigger triangle is having sides exactly double the side. The smaller double the side of a smaller triangle. Then the ratio of the area of smaller triangle to the area of a bigger. You keep this one in mind. We say area of smaller triangle divided by area of bigger triangle will be equal to side square side square. This is a formula. If you have two triangles that is similar, and this one, the ratio of the area will be nothing but their sides square only. The question says like this: the first triangle, the smaller triangle, their side is how much? Their side is, if their side is x, this bigger triangle is double of that. We just need to find the ratio of this. So let us find the side ratio. Side ratio here will be, if the side is x, x whole square divided by what's another side, which is 2x whole square. So x square divided by 2x. 2 square is how much? 4. And x square is x square. 0, 0. X square cancel. How much will it be? 1 divided by 4. What is it? It will be 1:4, which is option number D is the answer there. Okay. So the only thing is that you need to remember this. The area of their triangles or two similar triangles will always be the ratio of their, or the square of their sides. Next, this one. Okay, how many ways can the letter of the word leading be arranged? So we are asked to find in how many ways can we arrange this one such that the ways letter. I think I've done this one, so I'll leave this one. Okay. Next is $2 X, Y are paid a total of 550 per week by an employee. If X is paid 120% of the sum of paid to Y, how much is Y paid per week? Okay, it's an interesting question. There's two teller, X and Y. They are paid a total of how much? 550 rupees per week, both of them together. Okay, and the question says if X is paid 120% of the sum paid to Y. Let me assume whenever you are comparing two terms and if there is percentage included and the value of the other term is not given, that means something like this, the value of Y is not given and the question says X is something percent. In that case, always assume this one is 100. That is the easiest approach. So I'm assuming Y is 100 and the question says X is paid 120% of the amount that is paid to Y. So if I reduce this, 120% means 100 into 100. So 100, 100 cancel. That means X is paid 120 and Y is paid 100 there. This is what I have. Can I reduce this one? I'll just reduce this. 0, 0 cancel. 2 5s are 10, 2 6 are 12. That means X in terms of ratio is 6 and Y in terms of ratio is 5. So which simply means that if X is paid 6 rupees and Y is paid 5 rupees there. But what does the question says? They are paid a total of, how much was it? 550 rupees. Both of them together, they are paid 550. But according to our ratio, how much is it? X is paid 6 and Y is paid how much? 5, which is of total 11 there. So according to our ratio, the total is 11. And according to our question, the total is 550. So 1 in terms of ratio will be how much? 550 divided by 11, which is 50. So 1 in terms of ratio is nothing but 50 rupees. 1 in terms of ratio, it is nothing but 50 rupees there. Now, what is asked? How much did Y, how much is Y paid per week? So the earnings of Y. The earnings of Y is how much here? The earnings of Y is 5 there. 1 in terms of ratio is 50. So 5 in terms of ratio will be how much? 50 into 5. 5 5s are 25, which is 250. So the answer is option number A, which is 250 there. I hope we are clear with this. Let's move on to next. Okay, next question is also a pie chart. In a pie chart, what is given? If the total is, if a total of 1,200 kg of fruits were sold, that means total is given as 1,200 kg. Total is given. Calculate the amount of bananas sold. That means 100% is given as this one. So 1% will be how much? 1200 divided by 100. So which means 1% is nothing but 12. Banana is how much percent? Banana, where is it? Is 30%. So I need to find 30%. So it's very easy. 30% will be how much? 1, 2 into 3, 0. So 3 2s are 6, 3 1s are 3. 360 kg is the answer there. So it is option number B. So that's the answer. Let's go to next. It's a very simple question only. It's a critical reasoning question. So let's try this. We are coming to an end, I guess. 45, 56. So which means 10 questions. Yeah. The average number of a person per household is, okay, let me write like this. The average number of a person per household is 5 in urban. Okay, we have urban and we have rural. So average is given as, in urban it is 5, and what is it given again? And the average number of a person per household is 5 in urban. It's a critical, I think it's a, yeah, data sufficiency type of question. Or what is it? Yeah, somehow. Critical reasoning also, we can, per household is 5 in urban, and whereas it is 7 in rural. Okay, let's just follow the question. And 7 in rural. What is given? The national average is 6. National average is 6. Okay. The national average, total, national means total average is 6. Why? Because urban and rural together will make a nation, which is average is 6 there. So what is it? What is the conclusion given here? The population per unit area in the rural areas is lower than in the urban areas. So the question says like this. The conclusion number 1 says that the population per unit area in rural areas is lower. In rural areas is lower than the urban areas. So we are comparing these two. And when we compare these two, the question says like this. The average number of people, that means in an urban area, in a family, there is 5% in average, okay? And in rural areas, the average number of people in a family is 7. That's what is given. So conclusion number 1, it's a little bit critical. So let's go to conclusion number 2 for once. More persons live in the same household in the rural areas as compared to the urban areas. I can say that average here, that means in rural areas, there's average of 7 people live in a family, and in urban, there is an average of 5% live in a family. That means I can say that more people live in a family in rurals. So which means more people live in the same household in rural areas as compared to the urban. So this conclusion will follow that. This will follow. So because of that, I can eliminate some option here, or let's read the first one. The population per unit area in rural areas is lower than population per unit area in rural areas is lower than in urban areas. So this will not follow, or we don't have any conclusion to directly give a conclusion for this. So what I'll do is I'll just directly go for option number B, which is only two conclusion. Only conclusion 2 will follow there. Okay. Next is okay. Now comes the blood relation. The question here is, how is my brother? How is my brother's father's daughter related to me? Okay, it's a very simple question only. Let's say this is me. My brother, so which means I'll write represent by box. I'll represent male by box and female by circle. Okay. My brother's father. So the first statement, my brother's father is still this one, and father's father. That means again this father's daughter's daughter. That means this father's daughter. Can I attach here? Daughter's daughter. I'll repeat again. This is me, and this is my brother, and my brother father's daughter. That means my father's daughter will be this one, daughter's daughter, which is this one. So what's the relation there? Can I say directly it's cousins, which is option number D there. So this is you, and this is, so your aunt's daughter, we call it cousin. So that's the answer there. Okay. Next question is, which of the following will come to next of the following series? Okay, it's not a standard series, but it's a pattern kind of question. Okay, so what I'll do is I see 8 repeating every time, so I can make it like this. This is first term, and this is the second term, and this is, what is it, 3? Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, every term there is one increase. I have 2 here, I have 3 here, I have 4 here. Next will be 5. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there will be 5, and next will be 6. Next will be 6. That means something is missing here. So if you look here, I have 8 here, I have 8 here. I have next, This is 7, but this one is increased by 1. Next, I have 8 here, I have 7 here. But again, there is 6. That means there is one number reduced here. This 3 becomes 4 there. So that means the last term is increasing by one number. So 8 here, I have 7 here, I have 6 here. Again, there one number appears, which is 5. So this 4 becomes 5 now. The last number is again increased by 1. I have 8 here, I have 7 here, I have 6 here, I have 5 here. And another number will appear, which is 4, because this is the 5 here. Next will be 4. And this one increased by 1 will be how much? Can I say it is 6? So the answer is 6, which is option number B there. Let's go to the next. The ratio of a duck and a frog in a pond is 37. Okay, there is ducks and there is frogs. They are in a ratio of 37 is to 39. If the average number of ducks and frogs in a pond is 52, average is given as 152. So if average means we are talking about what we have two groups. So can I say sum or total? Total will be nothing but average into number. So average is how much? 152, and the number of people or the number of groups here is there's two groups, which is duck and a frog. So if you multiply this, 2 2s are 4, 5 2s are 10, 1 and 10, 2 1 2, 3, 304. There is a total of 304 ducks and frogs together. But the question says like this: in terms of ratio, how much is it? There is 37 ducks and there is 39 frogs. Total of 7 7 14 15 16 6 1 and 6 7 76. There is a total of 76 in terms of ratio, but it is given as how much? 304. Or if not, you can also use like this: 37x plus 39x is equal to 304. So if you sum this, you will get how much? 76x is equal to 304. So if you solve this, x value will be 304 divided by 76. So if you simplify this, you will get the answer for that. I'll leave that for you. Next is, okay, it's a blood relation again. Pointing to a man in a photograph, a woman says he is the father. Okay, he is the father of my only daughter-in-law's father-in-laws. Okay, only daughter-in-law's father-in-laws. I'll solve from this way. My only daughter-in-law's father-in-law. Only daughter-in-law. Can I say like this? This woman is married to someone, and it says my only daughter-in-law. That means this married couple will have a son, and it will be married to someone. That means this will be the only daughter-in-law of this one, right? So my only daughter-in-law will be this woman's son's wife will be the only daughter-in-law. So the question says like this: my only daughter-in-law's father-in-law. That means daughter-in-law's father-in-law will be husband's father, right? And again, we are yet to finish father-in-law's father. That means I can throw here father here. Now it will make sense. Let me start from the beginning. He is the father of my only daughter. That means he is the father of my only daughter-in-law's father-in-law. So only daughter-in-law's father-in-law is this one. So what is asked? How is the man related to the woman? That means how is this man related to the woman here? So this woman's husband's father will be father-in-law, right? So the answer here is option number D, which is this one. Are we clear with this? So we are talking about this one and this one. Let's go to the next question. I think I've done this question as well. Surveyed on this one. Yeah, I've done this, so I'll leave this one. You check out other videos, you will see that. The next question is this one. Okay, this is a very interesting question. There are deers and peacocks in a zoo. By counting heads, they are 80, and the number of their legs is 200. How many peacocks are there? How many peacocks are there? Okay. I'll give you a very simple formula. Actually, this can be solved by 3 or 4 approach. I have 3 or 4 approach, but For me, this is one of the simplest approach. The formula is this: 2 times of head in order to find for 2 leg animal. Okay, 2 times of head minus leg divided by 2 will be the answer here. That means it will give you the number of 2 leg animal. So 2 times of head is how much? By counting head, they are 80. That means there are 80 heads minus leg is how much? By counting leg, there is 200 divided by 2. So 2 is 160 minus, if I divide this, 100. So 100. So which is equal to 60. There is 62 leg animal, which is peacock here. So 60. But what if you also find how many, what is the peacock and deer? How many deer are there? In that case, how do you do? Since you know how many 2 leg animals are there, you can easily find the 4 leg animal. Why? Because see, counting head, every animal will have only one head. Counting head, there's 80. That means there is a total of 80 animals. Out of that, 60 is 2 leg animal. That means 4 leg animal will be the remaining, which is 20 there. So there's 20 deers. So that's the answer there. So please memorize this one. That's the easiest approach. You can solve this one by linear equation also, but I don't want to go by that approach. So let's go to the next question. Oh, we're coming to an end. Last 3 or 4 questions only. A watch is sold for 150 rupees at a profit of 25%. Okay, let me do like this. If I assume cost price is 100, if I'm selling it at a profit of 25%, how will it be? Can I say 125%? This is selling price. Because there is a profit of 25%. That means from 100, if there is 25% profit, it will be 25%. It is given as how much? 150. A watch is sold for 150 rupees. That means selling price is given as 150. And it says profit of 25%. That means from 100, if there's a profit of 25%, it will be 125. So which means 1% will be how much? 150 divided by 125. Then what is asked? At what price should it be sold in order to get 50% profit? So we are asked to find 50% profit. So from 100, if there's 50% profit, how much will it be? 50% profit, can I say it's 150? So which means I need to find for 150 because how much? 50% profit, it will be 150. So 150, 125 into 150. So we can cancel this one. Let me just write like this: 225 into 100 divided by 125. So I'm just multiplying. Okay, so 25 into 4, 25 into how much? 25 into 5. 5 for the 20, 5 for the 25. 5 for the 20, 0, 2 in hand, 4 for the 16, 17, 18. 180. So the answer here is 180. You can simplify whichever way you like. But I just did some calculation here. So if you are clear with the concept, I think it's easy there. Just that, assume your cost price is 100. Then you will get your answer easily. It's a dice question. If you are given 4 dice, how do you find? If you are given 4 dice, that means you have the luxury to use any kind of method. We know adjacent side formula, we know, and we know another one. What is it? 2 side given formula, and clockwise, anti-clockwise, all those we know. So what I'll do is I'll do like this. What is asked? For 2 is asked. Face opposite to 2. So I'll choose a dice which has 2. Okay. I'll use a dice which has 2. That means this is the only dice that has 2. So I'm going to choose this. And I'll use any of them, but I'll use this one. Since I have 6 here, I have 6 here, I have 3 here, I have 3 here. That means 1 and 2 will be opposite to each other. Because in that case, if you have 2 face same, then the remaining will be opposite to each other, right? So remaining here, 1 will be opposite to 2. That's the answer there. You don't use any other dice. Okay, last 2 question. Okay. The question here is the root of we are asked to find the root of the equation. I don't know whether you remember this one or not. if you are from an arts background, but from science, obviously this is a very easy question. If you are from science background, we are asked to find the root. Root means you need to split the middle term there. Okay, so how do we split the middle term? First, you take the first number and you multiply with the last number. 2 into 3, how much is it? 6. So one thing you need to do is that two number multiplied, you need to get 6, and two number, what's the sign here? We have negative sign here, so I'm gonna use negative sign. Two numbers subtracted, I need to get the middle number, which is 5. So can I say like this? It is 6 into 1, 6 1 is 6, 6 minus 1 is 5. So the number is 2x squared minus, in place of 5, I can write 6 minus 1. X minus 3 equal to 0. Why? Because 6 into 1 is 6. That means, which is this one? The multiplication of the first term and the last term, it is 6. So I need to get 6. And two number, that means 6 and 1. If I subtract the 2, I should get the middle number. The middle number here is 5. So that's the reason why I'm using that. 2x squared minus 6x, minus into minus is plus, x minus 3 equal to 0. So if you take common out, from here, 2 is common and x is common. If I take 2x out, what will it be? X will be left. If I take 2x out, 6 can be written as 2 into 3. So if I take 2 out and x out, then 3 will be left. Plus, there's no common, means I'll just take 1 out, x minus 3 equal to 0. If you look at this term and if you look at this term, you will see that x minus 3 is present in both. That means it is common. So from this term, if I take this one out, what is left? 2x is left. From this term, if I take this one out, plus 1 is left, which is equal to 0. So two number multiplied, you are getting 0. That means either x minus 3 will be 0 or 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. So x will be equal to how much? If you transfer this minus 3 to the other side, it will be plus 3. And 2x, if I transfer this plus 1 to the other side, it will be minus 1. X will be equal to minus 1 divided by 2. So the answer is 3, 3 should be the answer. So 3, minus 1 by 2. So the answer here is, which is option number B, this one. So that is split in the middle term. Okay, last question. It's a simplification, but this can be solved easily by using this formula, a cube minus b cube formula. This is important, this formula. A cube plus b formula is a minus b into a square plus b square, or let me just read ab plus b square. This is a cube minus b cube. So if you look at this term, it is something like a cube minus b cube. And if you look at this term, denominator here, since this one and this one, all those are same, I can write this one as a square plus 2 times of, why am I writing 2 times? ab plus b square. You can compare this one, compare this two. If I assume this one is a, that means it will be a cube. And this is the number here. This one is number here. This is a number here. And this 2.3 we have here. That means we have here another one. Same thing. If I assume this one is b, that means I have b here, and I have b here, I have b here, and I have b here. Or you can also use the number, but to make it simpler, I'm using a, b, c like that. Okay. We know a cube minus b cube formula is a minus b, a square plus ab plus b square, divided by a square plus ab plus b square is how much? I can cancel this 2 because these two are the same thing, a minus b. So what is a? A here is 2.3 minus b here is how much? 1.7. So if you subtract this 2.3 minus 1.7, how much is it? 13 minus 7 is 336.0. So the answer here is 0.6, which is option number A. That is the answer there. Yeah, that's the end. It feels like I just finished a one shot of all the topics, but I hope you have understood something. And yeah, I don't think I'll be able to bring another video before the NSSB exam. So all the base for your exam. Maybe I can help you with one. I thought of explaining that one as well, but I'll be bringing. Maybe I'll put up a video of based on computer. Okay, so computer in a sense like which is based on binary numbers. So this may not be asked in exam, but binary number to decimal number conversion. So in the year 2022, I guess it was asked. Two questions was asked. So for computer, I feel like they may also ask that kind of question. So I'll put up a video. I won't be taking class, but I'll put up a video of conversion from binary to decimal, decimal to octadecimal. There are some shortcut ways to do that as well. So, excuse me. Yeah. So there are some shortcut ways. So I'll discuss that. So if you joined late, we have a course running, online course, which is to start on 15th of November. So you can join there, and we can discuss exam-based question. Okay. Okay. Have a good night. All the best for your NSSB exam. Hopefully, we'll hear a good news from you guys. By any chance, if you clear exams, please update in the group as well. It will be helpful for us as well. Okay. Have a good night.